This video is brought to you by the South Bend Dart Frog Murders. The seniors at St. Thomas More High School are all looking forward to their final year. But 1 week after the start of the semester, the entire city of South Bend is thrown into chaos by a serial killer dubbed the Dart Frog. Before long, it becomes clear that one of the high school seniors is a monster completely devoid of conscience or morality. Who is the Dart Frog? Who is next? And when the smoke clears, will justice be served? Click the links in the description below to get your copy today and find out. Thank you for your support. The following presentation is non-profit and is intended for entertainment purposes only. All events within this presentation are non-canon. Batman and all related characters are the property of DC Comics and Warner Brothers Entertainment. Yugioh is the property of Konami, Shueisha, and TV Tokyo. If they take this down, it's canon. Yu-Gi-Oh! Batman Duel of Legends, a fanfiction, written and read by Robert Cantor. Chapter 2. The sun may have set in Gotham City, but back in Japan, it was morning. Tristan Taylor woke up and was about halfway through his morning routine before he remembered that it was his day off. Well, that's what I get for running on autopilot. Tristan's apartment was very modest. It was the best he could do on his budget. As he put together his breakfast, he tried to remember why he had bothered to set his alarm if he didn't need to go into work today. Slowly, the gears turned in his brain. Oh crap, Yugi! Tristan pulled out his phone and searched for the keywords Yugimoto, Gotham City, Batman. And he's already trending. Not for the first time, Tristan wished that he had become a world-famous duelist like his friends. After all, here he was working himself to death just to save some yen. Joey was the one in a relationship, and Yugi was on the other side of the world and apparently about to duel one of the world's greatest heroes. Well, them's the breaks. Could be worse. We could still be worrying about soul-sucking psychopaths. Tristan pulled up the news feed from Gotham City. This is Vicky Vale reporting live from outside Wayne Tower. A few weeks ago, a story touched the hearts of the city, and now it may be evolving into something extraordinary. With financial assistance provided by the Wayne Foundation, Sean Mercer has won his fight against cancer and is celebrating his 7th birthday. When Foundation Chairman Bruce Wayne asked the young Gothamite how he wanted to celebrate, Sean answered that he wanted to witness a Duel Monsters match between world champion Yugimoto and Batman. Sources have confirmed that the reigning king of games is in Gotham City, but the big unknown in all of this is, will Batman show up? At Wayne Tower, Cassandra escorted Yugi through the underground parking garage to the elevator. Apparently there was somewhere else she needed to be, but she said that she would take Yugi to his hotel when he was done. Mr. Wayne will meet you on the top floor. Have fun! The elevator made its slow ascent to the top of Wayne Tower. When the door finally slid open, Yugi was greeted by a tall, handsome, and imposing man. He had short black hair, a strong jawline, and his broad shoulders filled his impeccably tailored suit. A suit that probably cost more than a year's worth of groceries. Yugimoto, welcome to Gotham City, he said in perfect Japanese, his deep voice carrying the weight of sincerity. It's a pleasure to finally meet you. I'm Bruce. Bruce Wayne." "The pleasure is all mine, Mr. Wayne," replied Yugi. "Your Japanese is exceptional." "Thank you. You seem a little nervous." "You'll have to excuse me, Mr. Wayne, but I've had some bad experiences with billionaires." It was a very awkward thing to say, but Bruce didn't seem offended. Instead, a short and genuine laugh escaped him. "So I've heard. You must be hungry from your long journey. Fortunately, we've still got some time before your opponent arrives." "About that," said Yugi. "Will I be dueling the real Batman, or just some actor you hired?" Bruce's smile never faded from his lips. "Sean told me that he wanted to see Yugimoto dueling Batman. I didn't drag you halfway across the world just to have you duel a pale imitation." Yugi's surprise was palpable. He knew billionaires were full of whims, but the thought of actually facing one of the world's greatest heroes, even in a friendly game of Duel Monsters, was both exhilarating and terrifying. "The real Batman is coming here? How did you arrange that?" "I know some people who know some people." Yugi had no way of knowing it, but the person he was speaking with wasn't really Bruce Wayne. In fact, he wasn't even human. The man with Yugi was John Jones, the Martian Manhunter, mimicking the role of Bruce Wayne. John wasn't merely a shapeshifter, but one of the most powerful telepaths in the galaxy, if not the most powerful. Though he would never read Yugi's mind without his consent, John got the distinct impression that there was more to this young man than met the eye. The panoramic windows of Wayne Tower offered a breathtaking, if somber, view of the city. Yugi was led to the boardroom, which had been temporarily converted to accommodate Sean's party, which was already in progress. "Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, I'd like to introduce a very special guest, at Sean's request, Mr. Yugimoto!" It wasn't hard for Yugi to figure out which of the children was Sean. The bright but frail young boy still showed signs of his recent battle with cancer. The thinness of his limbs, the pallor in his face, the baseball cap that covered his bald head. Apparently, Sean wasn't strong enough to move without a wheelchair just yet. Yugi's heart ached at the sight of him, a pang of sympathy mixed with admiration for this resilient 7-year-old boy. "Happy birthday, Sean." It seemed to take Sean a few minutes to process what was happening, but when he realized Yugimoto was really in the same room as him, he seemed to light up like a Christmas tree. "Is it really you?" he asked. Sean was holding what Yugi guessed was a well-loved deck of cards. According to Bruce Wayne, this boy had followed Yugi's entire career from his first victory against Kaiba. "I've got something very special for you." Yugi handed Sean a card in a plastic sleeve. It was the Dark Paladin. "Isn't this the card you used to defeat Seto Kaiba at Battle City?" "I admit, it takes a lot of guts to stand up to Kaiba and his dragons. But according to Mr. Wayne, you're even braver than I am." As thrilled as Sean was, it didn't take long for him to ask where Yugi's opponent was. "Don't worry, Sean, we've got all night," said the fox Bruce Wayne. "And I'm sure Yugi is hungry after his long fight." Meanwhile, deep in the Batcave, Batman was checking in with his allies. The GCPD were out in force tonight. Evidently, they had the same idea as him. Despite his best efforts to keep Sean's birthday wish under wraps, word had gotten out. All Batman's worst enemies were accounted for. But the Laughing Demons and Gotham's other criminals might decide to take advantage of the situation while Batman was otherwise occupied. In the normal course of things, a Duel Monsters duel should only take a few minutes. But a few minutes could mean the difference between life and death for some unfortunate Gothamite. Fortunately, Batman wasn't alone in his crusade against crime. "All units, check in," said Batman, pressing a button on the Bat computer. Robin, standing by. Batgirl, standing by. Red Hood, standing by. Red Robin, standing by. Spoiler, standing by. Orphan, standing by. Batwing, standing by. You all have your patrols to follow, said Batman. The priority is the laughing demons. I want them off the street. I'll be with you as soon as possible. You enjoy your card game, said Robin. We can handle a few idiots in Joker masks. And if there's a mass breakout at Arkham, we've got Superman on speed dial, said Batgirl. Batman turned to pick up the duel disk that he had made from scratch, and was greeted by an unwelcome sight, freezing him where he stood.
Miss me?
Months ago, Batman had been forced to kill the Joker to protect Nightwing and Starfire. The memory of cleaving the Joker in half from skull to pelvis was burned into his brain. He did what he had to do. His longtime enemy couldn't have made it any easier if he tried, but it still kept him up at night. In his mind's eye, he saw the Joker standing next to his workbench. His twisted smile was just as unsettling as ever, and his eyes were like black holes.
You never invited me to play cards, Bats. But when some little brat lucks out against the big C, you drag some Japanese kid across the world?
Batman didn't know if this was merely a manifestation of his own guilt, or if the Joker had used Trigon's powers to put a curse on him with his dying breath. He'd have to ask Zatanna, Dr. Fate, or even Raven about it later.
I knew what you're thinking. You've got that "get out of my head and back to hell" look on your face.
Not without you, Bats.
It's no fun down there. But those copycat clowns using my image might appreciate it if you sent them down there.
You know you want to.
Batman brushed past the Joker, causing the image of his enemy to scatter like dust in the wind. Taking a deep breath, and reminding himself that the Joker was dead and buried, he placed the duel disk on his arm. Any particular reason you didn't just buy one? I know you love bats, but seriously? If Nightwing thought he had surprised Batman, he was going to be disappointed. Batman had taught him everything he knew. I heard you coming a mile away, said Batman. Wedded bliss is making you sloppy. Nightwing did a quick series of gymnastics to prove Batman wrong. You didn't answer my question. The duel discs created by Kaiba Corp couldn't be more dangerous if they were made of liquid Ebola. Batman had the schematics for the Kaiba Corp duel discs on the Bat computer's monitor. Though a marvel of holographic technology, at least by human standards, it was clear that duel discs could be used to monitor and track the individuals that owned them. Batman didn't want Seto Kaiba, or whoever was in charge of Kaiba Corp right now, auctioning off his secret identity and those of his allies to the highest bidder. When this was over, Batman would make it his business to nail Kaiba Corp for mass invasion of privacy. We should get going. Are you and Corey ready? Corey came flying in, looking as radiant as ever, only now she had a wedding ring that she displayed proudly. 2 commentators ready to help make this the best birthday ever, she said. Seeing Dick and Corey so happy together always helped to ease Batman's troubled conscience. Years ago, when Dick still wore the mantle of Robin, he stopped the Joker all on his own, and the Joker promised that one day he would kill the person Dick loved most. When Dick and Corey got engaged, the Joker attempted to make good on that promise. The Joker tried to use Scarecrow's fear toxin to make Dick and Corey kill each other, and he almost succeeded. Batman always blamed himself for his parents' deaths, but this time he had done what he had to do to protect his family. When the smoke finally cleared, Dick and Corey were able to exchange their vows and start a new life together. Dick and Corey had eagerly agreed to be commentators for the duel. Batman would have liked to keep this whole proceeding a secret, but he was starting to think Dick had the right idea. Maybe all of Gotham needed this. The whole city was still reeling from the Joker's last laugh. Sean Mercer was ready for a life beyond his illness. Dick and Corey had embraced their new life together beyond the Joker. It was time for the people of Gotham to move on as well. "Let's not keep everyone waiting," said Batman, making his way toward the Batwing.
"What are the odds of him actually having fun tonight?"
whispered Corey.
"Well, taking Murphy's Law into account, I'd put the odds at 40 to 60,
replied Dick. To be continued. Thanks for watching. If you liked this video, then like this video. Subscribe for more updates, and if you really want to help this channel out, click the links in the description below and buy my books.